Graphic number 2, you're on. Instagram, you're on. Alright, so I'm only going to make 2 videos out here tonight. And I'm only going to make 2 videos. Ah, damn it. That wasn't part of the video. Alright, so there won't be any weapons. I got a bug in my eye. And this is basically a specialty video for both Instagram and YouTube. Alright. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, the eye thing. I don't know why my light's not as bright as it should be. That might help. God damn it. Sorry for swearing. Okay. So, the other night, or last night, I'm not sure when I made the video, but I was making this video to honor one of my friends who's like 6'3 to 6'5. Brother, if you're out there, down in Florida, hope everything is well. For everybody in Texas, I was told hurricane has landed. So everybody out there, be safe, buckle down. This will probably be, there'll be 2 videos for Kung Fu Havoc 2. It'll be 1 video for Instagram because I'm just going to keep letting you guys roll. And I'm making this because of the other night, I thought I was on Instagram and I was filming and it was showing everything, but there was no live. So whatever was going on, it never made it to IGTV. I did make you guys an apology video, so to make up for that, I'm going to teach you tall people how to combat us small people. Small people, please don't get offended. No, I am not betraying us. My friend is tall, and I told him that if he has to fight a small guy, that it would be better for him to crouch and fight instead of try to go against gravity and against the flow. So I also told him that it would be advised that if you're a small guy fighting a big guy, and the big guy knows martial arts but he doesn't really know Wing Chun, to adapt to Wing Chun or Kung Fu so that he has a better chance of fighting you. So yes, small people, that also works in reverse. But for my bro here who's 6'3", you know, a lot of us, we stand and we try to box him out. It's a little bit harder for you when you're a whole foot taller than your target, if your target's like 5'2" or 5'3" or even 5'1". So it's easier for you to squat down to their level and fight. But you also have to know that there's pros and cons in everything. So sometimes squatting down, granted, it has given you the stability to fight against gravity and a smaller opponent, but it also has made things a tiny bit difficult, and Instagram is back. Okay. I'm sorry, this will probably happen a lot. So, if you're tall and you got to punch down, you have to worry about the 3 factors of gravity, your weight versus your opponent's speed and their directness. Okay, so that's like more than 3 things. But anyway, when you're taller, if you're standing tall and you have to punch down, you basically you've become the bait and the hook at the same time, because you're swinging down and your opponent, regardless of martial arts style, he's smaller, so he's set lower to the ground, and you have to deal with his speed and your weight and your speed, and then you have to count gravity. Now, in most cases, gravity is nobody's friend, but in many fights, when the person is taller, gravity is generally the shorter person's friend, also depending on what martial art they know or how good they are at adapting in a fight. You have to be really good at adapting in a fight. So if you are taller and you are fighting someone my size, because I'm 5'3 and a half, a good $120, I'm going to advise it. You don't have to follow the advice, but I'm going to advise it. Squat and then fight instead of just trying to stand up and muscle down. Because that muscle down, if you're going down for like a low gravel, because you know you have the uppercuts, but you have a low cross hang down, that low cross hang down will probably be like the last thing you want to throw at somebody short as me, because boom, boom, or boom, boom, we got you because of gravity. So you're throwing this, and I get out of the way, I can judo throw you, I can break your arm, I could block it, I could do some many amazing things because you're swinging down, and it's your height and your weight versus my speed and gravity, and I can put you in an arm bar by just using your own momentum against you and try to break your freaking arm. So if you're over 6'4", or 6'3", or 6 even, 6 even is probably about good. If you're 6 even, you're not going to have to squat down to fight somebody my size. You may want to fade back a bit, but you're not going to have to squat down. But if you're like 6'5" and up, you're going to have to squat down just to get a good jab in. And in doing that, you want to keep your back straight, and you want to be able to keep your motion straight so that you don't have to do too much movement. Because I'm smaller, which means I'm going to be faster. So to combat me, because smaller people are really good at close range, and longer people are good at long range. So, you know, if you try to fight my fight, I'm going to lead you in, and then I'm going to get you on the ground. If I can get you on the ground, and if I can keep you on the ground, I'm going to armbar you, I'm going to break something to make sure that I immobilize you completely. But since you're taller, and you're going to punch down, I have to block and strike, or I have to block and break and strike. And why am I in the southpaw position is because for Kung Fu, this is the part where I piss off people who don't do Kung Fu. For Kung Fu, it's more direct. So my block and strike, like in Kempo, is kind of like the no wasted motion. So you're throwing a jab, block, break, strike. So boom, boom, okay, or boom, boom. So if you're going to use Kung Fu on a shorter person, your Kung Fu kick is only like that far. It's not really a far kick. Your target, again, shins and knees, because most Kung Fu kicks are really short kicks. Same with some Wing Chun kicks. And also I brought in Wing Chun in the other video where, you know, if you're going to do Wing Chun, boom, 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 you know, those are short, quick strikes. Because you're fighting someone shorter and you have longer arm range, it probably won't be that difficult for you to put the power in there. But it also depends on your fighting level and your fighting skill. Because if you can't put power from that, and you have to throw a long range punch, you have to adapt. Because if you throw a long range punch and I break your elbow by you throwing this punch, one hand, not on this side, but on this side, and on this side, if both hands over here, and I push and break, or I push and pull, or I catch and pull, let me try that again. So, you're here, I get to the outside. If I do it this way, this is going to be right here on the back side of your wrist. The other hand's going to be at your elbow, and I'm going to push and pull and kick. Alright, so snap, and I'm kicking. That's a Kung Fu kick. Or I can go lower to kick you in the shin. But if this one is just right there, and you're already in momentum, I got you. Or if I break it and put my hand behind your head and ram my knee, this is the closest knee. So it's not going to be as powerful as if I shift and throw that knee. So if I shift and throw that knee, that's where the power comes in. But since I'm going to do Kung Fu versus Karate, I'm just going to break, grab, and bring my knee to the closest target. Or if I want to be really dirty, break, elbow to the throat, it's pretty much a done deal. Because if you can't breathe, you can't hurt anyone else. Sadly, this is probably not the time to talk about can't breathing. So in that fix, if you're the taller guy, you want to squat 3%, you know, so that you can still have enough to get back out of the way, but you want to have enough weight so that you can distribute. So if you do Wing Chun and you're doing the short, you know, those short punches versus your full extension, you got a better chance of not losing the fight against a small guy. Now, small guys, we're quick as a hiccup. So if you're not down to where our level is, and you're up here and you got to swing down, I have a few ways to avoid getting hit. There's always the blocks. You know, blocks are great. So block that way, block that way. For Kung Fu purposes, you want to get to the outside of your opponent. It's easier to take control of the outside versus if I'm going to try to outpower you, and I know I don't have a lot of upper body strength, so blocking and countering only leads to more blocking and countering if your skills are up to par. If your skills aren't up to par, good for me, bad for you, block, strike. I have no worries about countering. And that strike, by the way, is sternum and solar plexus, or if I want to be dirty, a low blow. Alright? So, hey, to be honest with you, nothing beats a fucking low blow. Unless this guy's wearing protective gear, which means your low blow is only going to piss this person off because the cup might crease up into the crease of the man's nether regions, and that shit might just piss us off to the point where, okay, I didn't really feel that enough to hurt me, I only felt it enough to piss me off. There's two different types of those pains. Women, you don't have to worry about that, to my knowledge. But for us men, if you ever wearing a cup and you get kicked in the cup, it's cupping everything in one spot, but it doesn't cup the skin under the scrotum, so it kind of like can cut that, because most cups hang low in the front. God, this looks like I'm like playing with myself. I apologize for that, but you know, it cups, so when it hits the little scrotum part and just beneath the scrotum, you know, that cup digs up in there. So that could be good or bad depending on the blow that you are receiving. That did not come out right at all. Anyway, so for you tall people who are at least 6'5" to 6'3", you want to squat just a little bit. You don't have to go way down unless you're fighting somebody who's doing capoeira or they're doing the drunken master, because then you got a whole nother aspect that you have to take into consideration. So first things first, you're 6'4" or 6'3" or 6'6", you have to squat. I'm going to say don't go all the way down to like where you're 5'3" like me, but go down to where you're about 6 even. So if you're 6'4", just go down about 4 inches. If you're 6'3", go down about 2 inches, so you'll be in the 6'1", 6 foot area, because 6 foot's about even. And in my next video for Kung Fu Habit 2, I'm going to explain certain things. Matter of fact, I'm going to make 3 videos now that we're talking about stuff like that. So you guys just hang tight. Kung Fu Habit number 2, B, C, and U. If I can stop